So hey guys, this is what if Deku had a quirk called werewolf. So his mother isn't that great. We can actually say she's the worst mother. So Deku's like all excited, like, and he's like, it's the day, it's the day, let's go to the quirk doctor. And Inko in her mind is like, oh, this brat. Like, she's that type of mother that she hates everything that her son does. Sorry for speaking too low. I just woke up, and yes, it's 11. So don't judge me, please. At least don't, please. so so they go to the quirk doctor. The quirk doctor is like, ma'am, your kid has a very powerful quirk. His quirk is called werewolf. He has increased agility, speed, muscular ability, like everything that a normal human has is boosted by 100%. So he's very smart. He is very smart. And it's also a transformation quirk, which he can transformate into a wolf. I should have not done this. You saw nothing. Uh, so, but he also says he will slowly, will in his normal, like in his normal form when he's in a human, he'll start growing ears and tail. And Deku's mother in his mind is, oh great, a beast. And she starts treating him badly. Like, she was already treating him bad, but now it's even worse. And she's like, the only good thing about this quirk is that he is much better than a normal person. And she still doesn't care about him, even if that is it. So she one day Deku asks to go to the park, and she has a light bulb moment where she thinks, I could leave him in the forest, because the forest was like the way to the park, although it was a few kilometers away. So they go, and while midway through it, like the forest, you know, the beast forest, the one that they go to in the but the part where the forest where they go to the training camp arc, the forest, that forest. So they had to pass through that because they live in like a faraway city, not city, like a village. But they she leaves him there, and she's like, get out. And he does. He gets out. He doesn't know what's happening. He just knows that it's getting dark. And there's a lot of sounds. So he cannot use his quirk properly yet. So out of fear, his quirk, like, his quirk has a defense mechanism, which is when the user or the quirk feels threatened or full of fear, they will turn into a giant wolf, which is what you see here. And this is how he looks later in these two. And he transforms. Like, all the wolves that were looking at him are like, okay, we fucked up. And they're like scared shitless. You know the phrase scared shitless? So they had no shit left to shit out of how scared they are. So I'm using the phrase, they're scared shitless, because they don't have more shit to shit. So, like, he slowly becomes their leader, and he forget, because he's like, your brain has a defense mechanism which it slowly forgets things that are painful. So you if you like, some people just forget things like they were bitten by a snake or like that. I have a friend that even forgot he was bitten by it, by his friend, and his friend had sharp teeth, so, and he forgot because it's pain. Your brain wants to forget pain, but it only does it when it's real pain, like real painful pain or emotional pain, which it was. So Deku slowly forgets that he's a human and everything, and forgets about his mother. Although he still faintly remembers, but that's only when he gets dreams about it. And he is like, what the fuck was that? I don't remember that. So Deku Deku is about 10 when people start hearing like loud, louder, how'd you say the word, louder howls to the moon, whatever they say, like normal wolf, even louder than what normally wolves, how wolves howl, and they're scared because it sounds pretty big, and Echo is pretty big when he's in wolf form. He's at least twice the size of a normal wolf, at least, and he's 10. He can grow more. So, and well, and this is, I think, so he is he is 11, and people start roaming the forest to find this mythical beast that they think is a giant wolf from the thought long extinct megafauna species. So, if you don't know what megafauna is uh, did you ever listen that before there were insects that were ginormous? And there's also wolves, any type of thing. I don't know if there was a megafauna for humans, I don't know. But I do know that there was megafauna for wolves. So that's where I'm taking it off. They're like, oh, so there's still at least some left. And they start roaming the forest at night because that's when they most hear the howls and the roars about it. And they go about, they never find anything. They just find big footprints, like twice the size of a normal wolf. And they're like, jackpot. They start taking pictures, and scientists slowly go there. But, like, when they don't find much more evidence, they just leave. And till one day, the training arc, not the training arc, the camp arc for Mirio when he's in his first year, don't judge me, he finds sorry, this strange paw print on the ground, much bigger than a normal wolf's. And he knows that there is this thing about people saying that there's a megafauna wolf running around the forest, but he doesn't think it's true. But that will change quickly. So it's during the night is when he's and I'm following by the guidelines of the camp arc in the original My Hero Academia, where they are doing the scare thing, whatever it's called, and they are and And Togata, Mirio's Togata, is going around. He's barely being scared, if if not at all. So when he is midway through it, he hears rustling, and he's like, "Oh well, another person." And he still has his happy attitude. He's just like bored at its maximum because no one until now scared him. But then he sees he's surrounded by wolves, and slowly but surely, two of them start opening up, and he opening like a little space on the surrounding, because they're surrounding him, and he thinks I can escape through that. But no, Deku comes through, and Miria just like, oh shit, I don't fucking care, I'm running out. He runs, he shoves some wolves aside. They're like, did this bitch just do this? Like, our master can outrun any goddamn thing. And he can. As I said, he is, well, I didn't say this, but in his normal form, it's only twice. But in his wolf form, everything gets at least 10 times better than a normal person. So, he like, all the world wolves are like cocky, like in their minds. They're gonna get killed. Because some people even know that it's normal for attacks of wolves, especially a certain group, which they say that there's a giant wolf, which they only see its eyes. They never see everything else, because immediately after, they just see the eyes jumping at them, and after that, they're just dead. Or they just fall out of fear, and when they come out of their shell, they're like scratched and some parts bitten, and they only know that. Some people get killed very easily. So Mirio is running, but running fast, and he tells like the people there that he just saw the megafauna wolf, and it and his group tried to attack him, and they can see it's true because he has scratches and bite marks everywhere around his arms and legs. And they're like, oh, god damn it. And they're like, they close the whole thing. Like, they pull everyone aside, and they start hunting the wolves down. And Deku is a good master. He's the type that's like, I will lay down my life for you guys. And he does. Like, the heroes are getting close, and he like he gives his position to another wolf, because he knows he's either dead or captured. And the wolf, the new master, just goes with the tribe away, very far away, and he stays there. Like, he stands his ground, growling, and like not jumping, he's just growling, standing his ground. And the heroes are like, Saint Jesus, this is a very big wolf, very big wolf. And they're scared because they don't know if it's gonna attack or not. So they're like, you gonna attack or not? They're like scared to see what he's gonna do next. And he doesn't. He just stands his ground and growls until one hero comes in, and like they think it's probably just a quirked animal. So they come in and they bring Mr. Aizawa, and he tries to cancel his quirk, which he does. And slowly but surely, he starts transforming into his 11-year-old form, and he's unconscious because that takes a lot of energy to be that long in the wolf form. Although it's like it wasn't a permanent lock after fear, so the quirk wasn't a permanent lock with that. So when the lock broke, which was Mr. Aizawa turning off his quirk, he lost every goddamn bit of energy that he had. He was like, he was like, if you had 100%, if you lost like 100% of your energy, you would die. He was like 1%, like no better, 0.01. He was at that level that he was like almost dead. And they're like, oh, so it's a kid. Okay. They take him in. They take him to the hospital because I'm gonna say like UA is like a city of sorts because they like build their own city, like the city where UA is at. Like that whole city is owned by UA, and they built them by themselves, and so the whole city is surrounded by walls, and the school itself is also surrounded by walls. And they take him to the hospital inside the UA facility, not the inside the UA city. And yes, it's called UA City. And they take him inside the UA facility, which they take them into a hospital inside the UA facility. I'm saying UA facility and UA a lot. You know what I mean? And he's on the hospital. He doesn't wake up for like at least 2 weeks. And they're like, he's not in a coma. He just doesn't wake up because he's very low on energy. And he gradually is waking up. And people just like ask him, for how long was he in there, like in that transformation, for how long was in there. And he just says, I don't know, I didn't even remember I had a human form. And you're like, damn, you must have been in that form for a long time for you not remember. And then they take him to like make a brain scan, and they found out that he had trauma, like mental trauma. Sometimes he, like, they don't know what caused it, but they just know he has some mental issues. Like he has separation issues. He has like, he has that thing where if he says that's his, no one else can touch it. Like what is it? I don't know what it is, but I just know it's like if it's his, he doesn't let anyone else touch it. So remember this for later on the story. I'm saying remember this for later on the story. So he wakes up and he's like, blah, blah, blah. You know the story already. And they give him some clothes, and he's like, and they ask, do you have parents? You know where they are? And he's like, no. Last thing I remember, I was in the middle of the forest. Like, and then my wolf tribe just surrounded me, and I became the chief, and then blah 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 blah, until the story came to where he is right now. And they're like, damn. And they find out that he is 11, and they start matching things up to certain points, and they don't completely find out his story, they just know that. So as he has some mental issues, he has separation anxiety, and he has anxiety by its own. He is very scared, actually. And because he's scared, he has to use this muzzle on all the time. Because they don't know when he will transform into a wolf just because he's scared. So they put a muzzle on him like this, so when he transforms, he cannot bite anyone. And his fingernails are he is they cut them every day. So if he ever transforms, there is no way that he can claw somebody. And everyone is like, he's put into a separate like part of the UA facility, and Togata actually visits him because he's like, he feels sympathy for him, and like he Togata by now is already in the second year, and no, wait, Izuku is Izuku is 14 by now, and Togata is in his third year. I'm sorry. When that happened, he was 12. No, 12. He was 13 when the incident in the training camp happened. So sorry for the part. So Togata is in his second year, and Deku's 14, and everyone around knows about him. They're like not scared, but they're also like, they're scared and not scared at the same time, if you get what I mean. And 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 he said he blah 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 blah. So he is like, he slowly gets integrated to society, and Aizawa decides to take him in, as he seems to be the only one that Izuku actually trusts. He doesn't trust nobody else but Aizawa. And he also has some sympathy with Nezu, as he lived as an animal for a long time, and he knows how hard it is, and he feels sympathy for Nezu, so they start being friends. Friends as in, he will sometimes go with Nezu around. But Deku starts living with Aizawa, and he's now 15. He has the choice of going to UA by recommendations, or by like doing the test. They already know that he's smart, so they don't give him the choice of doing the written exam. They just give him the choice of, I'm saying this because he himself helped Nezu creating the test, because like they're like, every year the test is different, so they create a very very fucking hard test. And like, they already know that that he isn't gonna do it, because he himself made it with Nezu, and he already created the answer sheet for every teacher, and Nezu himself, which half of the questions Nezu didn't even know what the answer was, which was the ones that were made by Izuku. And he has, as I said, he has some separation anxiety. So when Aizawa is like, leaves for work, he Aizawa, before he leaves, he leaves him with Nezu and some of the teachers as he's starting to warm up to the teachers. He's a scaredy cat, or more to say, a scary puppy. A scaredy puppy. Because the slightest sound can just put him at the goddamn ceiling of how scared he is. Like, he jumps so high that when he's scared, that he jumps so high that he gets stuck on the ceiling. Because he asked not to cut the fingernails because it hurts a bit, because in his human form they don't know the exact measurements to the wolf form, and as he's technically connected to his wolf form, it still hurts, so he has not to cut them anymore, and they don't. So he starts getting, like, Togata starts scaring him so hard because he shows up out of the middle of nothing that he gets scared and jumps to the ceiling and claws the ceiling until he gets stuck there, or jumps on top of the big doors to the point that no one else can take him down, not even Nezu. Like, Aizawa has to come to get him down. Togata's like, I didn't do anything. I just came up and said hi, and he jumped far away. And like, Nezu and the teacher started explaining that to him, and Aizawa leaves because he has to go to work, and he leaves Izuku with the teachers, and he has some pills like for separation anxiety, for his separation anxiety and his possessive behavior, and he starts like incorporating, like, so he has this thing where when people that he trusts are distracted, he claws them to mark them. Like, he claws them to mark them. Like, they have a claw mark in their backs, like signifying that they're his. His, as in, they're his pack. Like, his old packs, they still have the goddamn marks. And now the heroes, minus Nezu has, like, only, like, Nezu does have one, but it's like, it was done very precisely not to hurt Nezu much and not to leave much blood get out. And Aizawa also has one, which he has a lot of respect for, so he gave him the choice, get marked by my claws or get tattooed with it. And he chose tattoo. And I know I'm saying a lot of and, so I'm sorry. He starts, like, he does the test. He goes, no, he doesn't does the test. He goes to the to the waiting area for the test to start. Like, everyone didn't even see him get in to UA, like, and or do the written exam test. But he's the first one there, and the second one is Ida, and he sees him taking some pills, and he's like, and Ida, being the Ida that he is, he does the choppy motion and, like, signify and, like, saying you should not take drugs, and like, one teacher just comes in and he says, wait, don't shout at him. Those are pills for his mental issues, and he's like, why would he become a hero if he has mental issues? And he's like, his mental issues aren't that bad, and he starts explaining to him the story, and that the deku